Are y'all ready to head off the trails? I'm the cryptid huntress, Jessica Jones, and I'm ready to take you on a mysterious journey right now. We welcome you to Off the Trails right here on the Spaced Out Radio YouTube channel. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do. We would really appreciate it. Shout out to Bumblefoot for that amazing intro music. We appreciate that too. You can follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. You can find me at thecryptidhuntress.com, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Cryptid Huntress. Visit my shop, War Woman Goods, and you can find that on Etsy. We have an amazing guest for you guys tonight. I have the Marie Dumont here in the studio. And don't forget that right after this show, we have After Hours ready to go with a pretty good program, actually an amazing program set up for you guys. So let's get to our guest tonight. Marie Dumont is a native Floridian. It is the founder of the Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Group on Facebook and YouTube, which focuses primarily on Florida Bigfoot and Skunk Ape research. She has over 1,600 group members and active researchers who live primarily in the state of Florida. Marie is a dedicated, experienced researcher who has been seriously researching Bigfoots and Skunk Apes in Florida for over 3 years now. She's also been lead paranormal investigator for over 30 years. Marie is also the founder of Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Team. She's a photographer, manages social media, and handles public relations for the research team. And Marie is such a lovely person. I am so excited she's here with us tonight. Please welcome to Space Out Radio, Miss Marie Dumont. Hi there.
Hey, Jessica. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing so great tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad I get to finally meet you.
Oh, thanks for inviting me.
It's kind of face-to-face. I know it's online, but it's close enough. Right?
Until next Monday.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, you're actually going to be at a Bigfoot conference this weekend, right?
Yes. Next weekend is the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference in Gatlinburg. And I went to it last year. It's huge. It's a huge event. It's so wonderful. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get up there, but let me tell you, these shows keep me kind of locked down on the weekend. So we'll see what I can do. I would really like to make an appearance up there.
Yes,
at least, yeah.
Yeah, and try. We need to go investigating, do some research while I'm up there.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, you're down in Florida. I'm up here in Georgia. We're not that far from each other, so we're going to have to cross paths. Okay, it's only a matter of time, and perhaps we can do it next week. Okay.
Great.
Yeah. Well, I want to hear about your group, the Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Group, and you've got the Mid-Florida Bigfoot. I'm so tongue-tied tonight. I don't know what I'm doing. The Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Team. Okay.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to, today, Jessica, I got to spit it out. Okay. So you have a wonderful Facebook page, and I have really enjoyed being a member of that. It's just wholesome and good and fun, and everybody is they're showing great evidence and sharing all the latest news in the Bigfooting world. Right. And you run that page, so tell me a little bit about that and the members that you guys have.
Okay, so when I started researching getting into Bigfoot thing 3 years ago, it all started with I took a tour of the Ocala National Forest with some friends. And we saw some really cool structures and stuff. And it was then that I was like, oh my God, I've got to do this. I've got to look, I want to investigate Bigfoot. And so I started going out by myself, investigating, taking pictures, posting them on my personal Facebook page. But that really wasn't the place for me to put it. I didn't want future employers to look at it and think, she's a whack job or anything. So then I started looking on Facebook for a research group in Florida, and I couldn't find one at the time that I really liked. So it was then that I started the Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Group, and that's where I started posting my stuff. And that's how, I met all my team members on my research team. So my research team consists of Tim Turner, Wynette Turner, Mike Aguilar, Desi Herder, Troy Palmer, and Ruby Joe Brew. And there's a picture of everybody.
Yeah.
This was taken at the Punta Gorda Bigfoot Skunk Ape conference just a month ago, which was great. So, and we're just very fortunate that David Shealy of the Skunk Ape headquarters down in Ochapee, Florida, there he is over on the left-hand side. He's a big supporter of our group. He thinks that, we're going to be the ones to, really prove that Bigfoots and Skunk Apes exist in Florida. So we're very lucky that he's supporting our group. He loves us. He has not joined any group except for ours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We're very, very lucky, very fortunate. He's a great guy. And, he mentors us, and it's just been a great, wonderful experience.
Yeah. Well, for people who aren't familiar with Dave Shealy, now he made some footage of a skunk ape back in, I think it was 2000, that's been pretty famous. Now I have a really blurry shot of that. Okay. Yes. It was an actual, what people refer to as a skunk ape.
Yes.
Walking through, I believe it's like a marsh or a swamp, I guess.
Yeah. Well, most people just think that's grass. But guess what? It's water.
And it's full of alligators.
Grass. That's probably like 2 feet of water at least where that skunk ape is walking through.
Wow.
And the whole video is like 7 minutes long or something. You could see him walking, all the way across the marsh or along the tree line. And so people think, oh, that's a guy in a suit. Well, number one, it's the Everglades. It's hot as heck down there. And number two, that's water that he's walking through.
Wow.
And a man in a suit cannot walk that fast through water with snakes and alligators and everything that's down there. So,
yeah. That's actually something that we don't have in Georgia are alligators. Well, I said one thing, there's several things. We don't have alligators, and we do in South Georgia, but not where I go. Alligators and gigantic anacondas, boa constrictors and pythons. Okay. That we do have rattlesnakes and copperheads and all the other, poisonous snakes, but we don't have gigantic snakes. Okay. I don't know how I would fare out there late at night with snakes all around me. Marie, you are very brave.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've only investigated the Everglades once, and it's like, to me, the most dangerous place on earth to be investigating skunk apes or Bigfoots down there. But we don't have pythons up where we're at. That's more of the Everglades. Here we have water moccasins, which I think are even worse. And
they're bad.
Snakes, gators, that kind of stuff. So
it's like a whole other ball game down there. You have a whole different terrain than a lot of our country has.
Oh yeah. It's hard. It's so hard to investigate here.
Not only do you have all those critters, you have gnats too, and mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes and the swamps. It's all swamps. Like today, we try to investigate this one area that I love. And it's a swamp, and it's filling up. It's all flooded now. We can't get in there. I mean, I'm trying to step in there through some dry spots. And my team members, Tim and Wynette, they decided to go fishing because we couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't walk. I wasn't about to walk through swampy water with snakes and stuff. No. So I did the best I could, but...
Well, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right? So just go fishing and get something good, take home to eat that night. Okay.
That was what the plan was,
Yeah. Well, you have some pretty amazing evidence pictures that I've seen on your website. And by the way, you have a great website as well, in addition to your Facebook page. And at the end of the show, we're going to put the website up on the screen so everybody can see it. But it's Mid-Florida Bigfoot. Research.com, is that what it is?
No, it's midfloridabigfoot.com.
Bigfoot.com. Okay, we're going to put it up on the screen at the end. Okay, so you guys stay tuned. It's an amazing website, and you are very creative. Okay, and I know you're very artistic, and so you have an eye for design. Okay, and a lot of times I've come across figures like stick structures in the woods and logs and trees that are crossed and all sorts of stuff that the average person might not even notice and see that it's out of place. And you seem to have a good eye for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like today, I only found a couple things, but one of the things I found was it was a small X that was maybe 2.5 feet tall, but the X was where a small branch from the tree next to it was bent over and the X was in there. So the sticks of the X were holding the branch down.
Yeah.
So you can see the branch is like this. It's all bent over. And I just saw that and I'm looking at it. I'm like, no, this isn't normal. You know, because why do you have this small X and it's holding down this branch that's bent over?
Yeah.
It's not normal.
It's not normal. And it's so great that you have an eye for that, because a lot of people would just walk right past it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why a lot of people have no idea that there's so much activity in these woods.
Yes.
All over the place. Yeah. Well, I have some pictures that we can show tonight that that you took, I believe, and your team has.
Yes.
So let's just go down these. Let's talk about them a little bit. Okay. We've got the first one here. It's a little tiny on the screen, so I apologize, everybody. But some of the other ones are bigger than this. But this is a great structure. Tell me about this.
Yes. Lately, we've been finding what I call these asterisk structures. It's like a star. It's just a bunch of sticks that just form this, looks like an asterisk. And I think so far we found up to 5 or 6 of these different spots. Some are a little bit, this is like the best organized one. The other ones are not so organized, but you can still make out what they are. But we're always finding them next to water.
Wow.
We're finding them. But they're different locations in our area. Some in the Green Swamp, some in Colt Creek, some in Morris Bridge Road. And these are only like 2 feet off the ground. And they are all perfectly balanced. I mean, you could sit there and just tap them and you could see them just perfectly balanced.
Oh
and it's
my
like,
gosh.
what the heck is this? There's no way that these branches fell off a tree somewhere and just landed on top of each other perfectly balanced. No, something made that.
Yeah.
And that's like the 5th or 6th one we found.
Okay, well, you've made the connection to a water source. That's a big deal. So maybe that is just an indicator that, this is like they're marking territory. Like, this is my water well. This is where I take a bath. Okay. It's where me and my family take baths at 8 o'clock every morning. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. Very awesome. Now let's go to the next picture here.
Okay.
It looks similar.
Yeah. That's another one. That's another asterisk structure. And because the branches are a little more rougher, so it looks a little unorganized, but it's the same thing. Again, it's like 2.5 feet off the ground next to a body of water.
Wow. So they're all about the same height off the ground. Now, how far away is this one from the other picture that we just saw?
I'm trying to think where this one, I think this one was in the Green Swamp, I think.
Yeah.
Green Swamp butts up to Colt Creek State Park.
Okay.
Right next to each other. So
wow.
Something's going through, through the Green Swamp, through the Colt Creek, and I don't know, they're making these structures. But I think the next picture you have is one that was found in southern Minnesota. One of the guys in my group members, his name is Paul Duffy. He's a Bigfoot, independent Bigfoot researcher in South Minnesota. And so he's out there all the time and he sends me pictures. He sees the pictures I take, and then he will send me ones that look similar. So here, this is another, looks like an asterisk structure in southern Minnesota.
Wow.
And so it's interesting. There's similarities.
Okay, so it's not just in Florida or Minnesota. I mean, we have those here. I've had guests on my shows from Indiana that had structures like this. I mean, they're all over the place. North Carolina too.
Yeah.
So it's a common language or a common sign because this is not the first time I've seen these.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
interesting. And
Yeah.
that first picture you showed, the little picture, that was the first one I found. That was the very first one I found, and
Wow.
it never even occurred to me that these kind of structures existed until I saw that one, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" So once I knew it existed, then I knew what to look for in other places, and sure enough, within a 2-month, April, May, found 5 or 6 of them.
Oh my gosh. So it's all a matter of knowing what to look for, kind of, and to not discount it. Now we have a lot of structures out in the woods that we come across too. And there's always that skeptic on the team that's like, all right, it could be drunk campers, but
Hunters,
I mean,
yes.
yeah,
Like
but
hunters, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to kind of use your intuition with this, okay? And you can tell, well, maybe they were bored campers or maybe they were, but if you're finding these over and over again, and it's
different
a pattern.
different places and remote places in the swamp. It's just like, okay, that's not made by. They're not humans. There's
probably not a drunk camper. Okay.
No.
You're bored.
No.
Okay. Well,
and places these are found at.
Yeah, and you find footprints as well, tracks.
Absolutely.
And I believe the next picture might be tracks. Let's see. No, those are bones. Okay.
Right,
tell me about the
next
bones
one first. Go the next picture. I'll talk about
the next.
Oops.
Oh, the next one. Sorry, the next one down. Here we go. This one. Okay.
Okay. So team member Ruby, we were in the green swamp, wandering around, and next to a swamp body of water, she found a deer carcass. And so we're like, oh, wow, check this out. And then she was like, hey, look over here. And we turn, and about 4 or 5 feet away were these 3 bones stuck in the ground next to each other.
Wow.
What does that? The rest of the carcass was over there off to the side about 4 or 5 feet away, but 3 bones shoved in the ground.
Yeah. Shoved. Maybe a Bigfoot was eating them. And
I did a video where I had Ruby pull one of the bones out of the ground. So again, if there is a coyote attacking and eating a deer, they're not gonna take 3 bones, move it off to the side, and stick them in the ground. What this reminds me of is, let's just say, a Bigfoot killed the deer, and then he's eating, and he's just shoving them in the ground next to him.
Oh, yeah.
So the next picture of the bones.
Is this the one that I showed before? This one right here? Okay.
This one. Okay, again, this is from Paul Guffey in Minnesota, and he found 3 bones laying on the ground about 4 or 5 feet away from a deer carcass that he found.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so pattern.
Why 3? Why are there 3, and why are they off to the side, just like the ones that Ruby?
Yeah. I don't know, Marie. That's perplexing. It was interesting. Yeah.
And here, these 3 are lined up next to each other.
Yeah.
Off to the side.
Huh.
Why? What do the 3 bones represent? And this is Minnesota. And the other picture was in the green swamp in Florida.
Wow. So do you think that it's marking a territory maybe, or?
I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know if they're like indicating the family, the size of the family.
Yeah.
Like 3 of them.
I've heard that. Yeah.
That's the only thing I can really think of. Why is it 3?
Yeah, I don't know. It's to be determined. We're still working on it. We're trying to figure this stuff out. And there's some people who
next time you find a deer carcass, look around and see if you see 3 bones
Yeah.
off to the side away from the
I
carcass.
will. It's very rare for me or anybody on my team to even find a carcass out in the woods where we go. It's very rare. Also, not a whole lot of wildlife where we go. A lot of times in some of our research areas, and that's why when people say, "Well, why haven't you found a body yet of a Sasquatch?" Well, I mean, I've never found a body of a bear. Okay,
Yeah,
I know we have bears up there.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, I mean, we don't
It
find
is.
deer carcasses all the time. I think we've probably found maybe five or six over the past
Yeah.
few years,
Wow, that's more than I found. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. I'm not out looking for carcasses usually, but we stumble across something every now and then. We'll see bones. So
Mhm.
I'm going to be on the lookout for those 3 in sets of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and that was the last carcass that we had found. So it was
I didn't. I apologize. I did not mean to flash that picture on front of our faces before you finished talking. My finger slipped. I apologize.
No, it's fine. That was the last deer carcass that we found. We have found hog carcasses before, but we never looked for bones like that. Now we know next time we find a carcass, we need to look around and see if there's any bones that are separated from the rest of the carcass, if they're shoved in the ground, or like Paul had found where they're, laying next to each other.
Yeah. So. Well, that's something good for all researchers to be on the lookout for. So everybody watching tonight, if you're out there doing field research, pay attention to those bones, because it's obviously a pattern of some sort. So
pattern of some sort. We don't know what it is. It could represent the size of the family unit, but don't know. Don't know. But 3.
3. All right. Well, we'll
go on to the next one.
Okay, next one. Okay. This is a print.
Yes. This is a big print that I found. This is the largest one I have found. It's 14 by 6. Wow. So this was found in Hillsborough County, in a Hillsborough County park. And it was just huge. And it was next to us a stump. Mm-hmm. In a swampy area, but at the time it wasn't really wet. So that was a great print. We tried to cast it. It didn't come out showing toes,
Yeah.
But, it was a good print. It was a good find. That's, like I said, it's the biggest print I have found.
Wow, 6 inches. I was measuring the bottom of my foot today because I was like, because my foot's not, I was like 6 inches is huge to be the width of a foot. That is gigantic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that print was found, I think, in May. We went there 3 weeks ago. I found another print 3 feet away from where that print was, and it was a different size.
Oh, yeah? Yes. Ooh, so multiple Bigfoots out there, huh?
Yes, I found a 12-inch print, 12 by 4 print, and like I said, it was like 3 feet away from that print in the swamp.
In the swamp. That is so wild. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just did a remote viewing show this last week on a giant that was in the Okefenokee swamp up in North Florida and South Georgia. Kind of I guess it's more Georgia, but it had I think they said it was an 18-inch print that went 9 inches across or something. Wow. It was huge. But it turned out, it was actually not a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch or a skunk ape. It was a giant human, actually. So, like that they found in the mounds, the skeletons that they find in the mounds and stuff. Yeah. So
now team member Mike, in his area, he has his like personal area that he likes to check out. Mm-hmm. And he found a pair that were about 16 inches long.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty big. Yeah. Well, I gotta make a side note. That Okefenokee swamp print, that was back in 1829. Okay.
Wow.
Back when the papers used to still tell the truth. Okay. The newspapers, they didn't try to cover up stuff that was going on, so, back in the day before we were born. I wasn't born back then. Okay. All right. Well, let's go to the next picture here. Let's see. Is that the same print?
It's a different print.
A different print. Nice.
Yeah. I can't see what the measurements are. Does it say at the bottom?
It's big. Let's see. I can't see it. I can't
I think
see.
it's
Oh,
12. I think this is a 12-inch print, I think, that I found.
yeah.
Oh, this is the other one. This is the other
Oh, the
print
other one.
that was found 3 feet away
Very cool.
3 weeks ago. Yeah, it was a 12-inch,
Wow.
12 by 5, I think, is what the measurement was.
Oh, very nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have to you have a good eye for tracks. So now, does your team are you guys all trained in tracking, or is it just something you kind of just pick up when you go out in the woods?
Well, Tim Turner, he is our hunter. He's
Yeah.
our tracker. He's very good at identifying prints
Yeah.
and, seeing where wildlife is going. He was a hog hunter, deer hunter, and all that stuff. So we've learned from him, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
That's
I
how most
first
teams do.
started, I
Yeah.
I wouldn't really know this, pay attention to footprints, but having him on the team has been very wonderful, beneficial, and he's taught all of us so much, so much.
That's awesome. It's so good to have a variety of people or people with a variety of skill sets on
Yes,
your research team, because that's how my teams are. And we're all able to teach each other a little something
yes,
that we know. And
yes,
so,
exactly.
yeah,
It just kind of
it's,
worked out that way. We all have our niches, you
yeah,
know. I'm the artistic creative person, so I find the structures. I typically find structures
wow.
and footprints and stuff like that. But structures are my thing. Whereas Tim, he's the
Yeah,
hunter. He's the one looking. He's able to identify tracks and where a creature is going. Where how they're moving through the woods and blah blah blah. And Wynette, she is very good. She always seems to find the carcasses most of the time, which is pretty interesting.
oh,
And
really?
helps Tim film. Tim does all the filming for our team. And then you have Mike Aguilar. He's has a very sharp eye for structures, footprints, and he's very in tune with Bigfoots.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Yeah, he knows when they're around. He always seems to pick these really primo places for us to investigate. And Desi, her specialty is audio. She
Okay.
loves doing the audio and analyzing it, and she's got a very sharp eye as well. And then we've got Ruby Joe. She's very good at structures and footprints. And then Troy, he's our skeptic, and
Yeah.
but he's starting to learn footprints. He just joined our team just a few months ago, but he's a professional photographer. He's got, incredible camera equipment. So everybody has their niche. We all do something different, but together we make a really great team and we really
Yeah.
like each other. We get along and it's just great. It's great.
That's awesome. I really enjoyed reading the bios on your website, and Troy is the open-minded skeptic. That
Yes.
was, I read that and I was like, man, every team needs an open-minded skeptic.
They should.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good that not everything is always going to be a Bigfoot or a skunk ape.
Mhm.
Okay. Not everything is always going to be a UFO or alien. Okay.
Right.
It I guess it's just having the boots on the ground and being out there so much. You start kind of learning the difference and understanding that not everything is going to be a Sasquatch. Okay.
Right.
And, but it's good to be a little bit skeptical and try to, make sure, go down the list, is everything that noise could have been, before you conclusively say,
Yeah.
that was a Bigfoot.
And
Okay.
I'm more skeptical than people think I am.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like, yeah, no, that, there's some people that point out, every dark spot in a photo and they say it's Bigfoot
Yeah.
or whatever. And it's like, no, they're shadows. Okay. It's
Yes.
shadows. It's dead trees. It's burnt trees. It's logs or whatever. Not every dark spot is a Bigfoot. So,
Yeah. Oh
we
yeah.
definitely try. We typically do not say anything is Bigfoot or skunk ape.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
don't know what it is, but we will show everybody what we find. But we're not
Right.
going to sit there and say, "Look, we got a Bigfoot or skunk ape." No, no,
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, before we go on, first of all, Dogface Boy, thank you so much for that super chat. You're awesome. We have a question, Marie, from Brown Dwarf. He said, "Can you ask Marie if her Bigfoot pendant is made of abalone?"
Yes.
Did Ray make it? And I guess this is my convenience. So
I don't know who made it, but I got this from Bobo.
Oh wow! Okay. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Because he was at the first Great Florida Bigfoot Conference in 2021, and I asked him for it, and I got it from him.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, it doesn't hurt to ask.
He only has one left. This was his second one, what he had left.
Wow.
And I got it. He gave it to me. So I wear it proudly. So it could have been, awesome. I'm sure it was done by whoever this artist is. Probably is. Whoever used to make Bobo's necklaces for him. So. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's really cool. I like that necklace too, by the way. It's really pretty. Anything with Bigfoot on it. Yeah, I know. It's like I like anything with Bigfoot on it. Okay.
Right,
so
right.
Of course. Yeah. Well, Marie, I wanted to know, what is the difference between a Bigfoot and a skunk ape? Is there a difference?
Okay. Well, there's a few Florida researchers, including myself and most of my team members, that we do believe that we have two different creatures in Florida. And this is based upon eyewitness reports that we have read about. And it seems like, so in North Florida, so from Central Florida to North, the reports are a Bigfoot creature that's 7 to 9 feet tall and has 5 toes, right?
Yeah. Okay.
5 toes.
Yeah.
Now, when you go south of Central Florida, like Mayaca, and down to the Everglades, the reports are very different. The reports are a creature that's 5 to 7 feet tall and only has 4 toes.
Oh, wow.
So that's why we believe that we have two different creatures going on in our state,
Wow.
And it very well could be. It very well could be the skunk ape is a subspecies of Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's so many different types. I mean, we really don't know. A lot of them look so different just from all the pictures. Now, I have a question. There's that famous picture of the Mayaca skunk ape. And I had Stacy Brown on, and I asked him about this picture, and he said that he doesn't think that's real, that is actually from a zoo or something. What do you think about this picture? What do you think? Because I thought it was a skunk ape.
Yeah, they're calling it a skunk ape. I don't know if that's what it really is. Some people think it's an orangutan.
It looks like one, right?
I don't know what to think about that.
I know. Me too. I am so confused now.
I think it's kind of fake. I tend to think it is. But I don't know, because I've never had a face-to-face encounter with a Bigfoot or a skunk ape to know that. Now, the reason why skunk ape, though, there's two different things going on with the skunk ape. Like, people are like, how did it get its name? So they say it's a smell. Some people say it's a smell, that they stink like a skunk or whatever. Yeah. But some people say it's because maybe that picture has like a white stripe along its back, so it kind of looks like, I think in that picture, it has like white in the front. So some people think it looks like a skunk because it has white on it. So
interesting.
I don't know, but those are the two theories behind the name of skunk ape. But we do believe we have two different things going on here, two different creatures, just like deer in Florida, in North Florida, are bigger than the deer you would find down in the Everglades or down south of Mayaca because of the heat, and they don't need all that body mass, and the food supply is different. So they're smaller, more compact. So it makes sense that skunk apes would be smaller than the Bigfoots that you'd find in North Florida.
That's right. And the Bigfoots up in the the Pacific area, like Patty, those are gigantic, and their hair is different, you know. And the skunk ape are said to have longer hair that kind of hangs down.
And they're skinnier by nature, which goes with the heat and the whole food supply. You know, you don't want to be this 500-pound creature running around the Everglades when it's 100,000 degrees outside.
Right.
You know, they never survive. So they got to be leaner. They got to be smaller. They got to be leaner in order to make it. So, you know, that's just what we have determined, you know. I don't know if you know it or not, but Florida is according to the BFRO, Florida is number 3 for the most reported Bigfoot sightings.
Oh, yeah. I've seen the maps.
Number 1 is Washington, number 2 is California, and 3 is Florida.
Considerably smaller than California, too, landmass wise. So it's almost kind of shocking that Florida would be the 3rd in line, because it's a pretty small, relatively small state. Yeah, we
have 17 million acres of forests in Florida. And you never know that either. Almost half the state's covered in forests. Everybody just thinks we're all beach sand, you know. But no, we have woods. You do creatures out there, unknown creatures. We've seen footprints, unexplainable structures, things. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. We love every moment of it.
Yeah. Oh, I love doing this too. Now, before you started getting into the skunk ape and Bigfoots, you were a lead paranormal investigator.
Oh, yes.
And so you had to have probably, I'm going to assume, grown up into ghosts and aliens and UFOs and all that kind of stuff, because that's kind of where, you know, how I grew up. Tell me a little bit about your background with the paranormal investigating.
Paranormal. It all started with me with ghost hunting. I would ghost hunt with my friends and stuff like that. And it all really started because my mother died when I was relatively young, and she came back to me after she died. And it was that point that I was like, oh my God, I'm so into the paranormal. You know, this is amazing. It's just so fascinating that, you know, my mom comes back to me after she's gone. And so that's what got me hooked into ghost hunting. And my best friend, she's a psychic medium. And so we would go to Savannah, Georgia, which I know you've probably been to Savannah. Great
I used
place.
to live down there. Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, yeah. Those cemeteries are the best.
Yes. Bonaventure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We go every year. And so we would investigate Savannah, Georgia, and in Florida, wherever we could, you know. And I used to be a lead investigator for the Tampa Ghost Watchers back in the day. And, so then the whole ghost hunting thing, once you start getting into that, and then you start paying attention to alien stuff, UFOs and aliens, there's similarities. You know, you've got orbs, you've got just strange stuff going on out there. And it's like, that's interesting that there are similarities. And then same with Bigfoot, you know, ghosts, aliens, and then it evolved into Bigfoot. Again, when people are going out doing Bigfoot research, they're seeing orbs at night. Some people are even seeing UFOs in the woods. Yeah,
I am. From my very first Bigfoot expedition, I had UFO activity. Okay. Wow. And so, and I think it is just a natural progression from ghost hunting and being interested in that to, it's almost like bigger. I'm not saying it's bigger things, but it kind of is, you know. I always felt like it was safer inside a house hunting ghosts than it was to be out in the wide open woods. Okay. Looking for Bigfoot. So I feel like I was just a little bit more on edge out there in those woods than I would be in a haunted house.
Yes, absolutely. Except falling. I'm afraid I was going to fall down the stairs or something, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Dark place, you know. So.
Yeah. But, you know, we use the same equipment when we're out there doing Bigfooting that we do when we're ghost hunting. Is that the same with you?
Yes. Tri-field meters. What else do we have? Mostly the tri-field meters, of course, our
Yeah.
phones, stuff like that. And we've had
Yeah.
strange stuff happen. My phone has acted up so many times out there. Our equipment has died, it's fried. I'll tell you the story. I know I've told this story many times before, but one of my favorite, craziest thing was this has happened twice now. Two different areas. I think it was in the green swamp. And I found these like X structures, like
Mhm.
7 foot tall structures. And I'm walking up to the structure. My phone automatically calls one of my ex boyfriends.
Oh no.
It did this twice, two different times, two different ex
Oh, the
boyfriends,
nerve of
two
that
different ex
ghost.
structures. Come on, what are the odds of ex
Oh my
structures,
gosh.
ex boyfriends?
Yeah. Oh
Wow,
man.
right? This has happened
Yeah.
twice and we got it on film. One time my phone, now my phone's password protected.
Mhm.
So in order for you to turn my phone on, you got to swipe it, you got to put in the code, you've got to go to the internet or Facebook, hit that, whatever. One time it played weather.com videos. Where did that
Okay.
come from? So
Well,
we
it
went
wanted you to know the
to
weather.
the internet, type in weather.com, and then pull up and play a video. It did this all by itself while I'm
That is,
Bigfooting.
yeah.
I can explain that. It's just weirdness, high strangeness going on out there. And a lot of people don't consider that as evidence.
Oh,
And
it is.
it is. As researchers, you
Mhm.
should be, um, it's, you report everything. You're supposed to report
Yes.
everything that you find. You don't pick and choose what you think is evidence or whatever. I just think you're doing yourself and the whole Bigfoot community a disservice if you're not reporting everything that's going
Yeah.
on. So the people out there who don't say anything about equipment failures and weird stuff going on, you know they're encountering it. They're just not
Yes.
reporting it. They're
Yeah.
just not talking about it
Yeah.
because
Well,
we're not
yeah.
doing it. We're looking for Bigfoot. We're out in the middle of a freaking swamp and stuff goes on. Hello,
Yeah.
we're not making, we don't know how that happens. We're not making it happen. We're not looking for it. It's just happening.
That's
Like
right.
on our tri-field meter a year ago, back last January, December, or something like that. We're in the green swamp. We're looking at the spot, and his tri-field meter starts going crazy. Tim's tri-field
Okay.
meter. And interesting enough, we got the biggest spikes when I talked about the Bigfoot conference.
Interesting.
It spiked like up to like
Yeah.
98 or something like
Yeah.
that. Every time I would talk about the Bigfoot conference,
Wow.
it would spike. Now come
Yeah.
on. I don't know what that is. It's just strangeness, but it's really cool. It's very fascinating.
That is, you can't discount anything when you're remote.
No,
I was going to say
no.
remote viewing,
Yeah,
but
right.
it's even with remote viewing. It's when you're doing field research. When my team's out in the field, and we have a lot of overnighters, where we stay, sometimes 5 nights, sometimes 2, sometimes 4, 3, and a lot of times we have weird dreams when we're out there and
Mm.
stuff. Even
Mhm.
even your dreams. Okay,
Yes,
it's important to get up and write all that down. And
yes.
uh, and and at the end of the week, after we've been out in the field, we all write up reports, okay,
Oh,
of
that's good.
everything that happened.
That's good.
Well, honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth. It depends on which team I'm out there with. Some of them don't do that, but one of my teams, we write down everything, um, and um, and there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people would just look over,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
it has a lot of meaning behind it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you just never know.
I mean, we're out, we're all here together searching for the same thing. We're trying to search for the truth. You can't discount anything because we don't know. Nobody's an expert. Nobody knows. So the stuff that you just like blow off as, oh, that's just nothing. Well, guess what? Maybe Bigfoot has some kind of special natural ability, you know?
Yeah.
Like think about geckos. Geckos. I'm sure back in the day before geckos were discovered, if you would have told scientists, hey, there's a lizard that if it stands on a blue piece of wood, it can change its skin color to match, they'd say, you're crazy. But guess what? That's what happened. So that's
Yeah.
its special ability. So we don't
Yeah.
know what special abilities that Bigfoots have. Maybe they're masters of camouflage. Maybe they can turn a certain way to make it look like they're cloaked.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
It is.
Everybody knows, but you can't sit there and say, that makes no sense. That's silly. No, you have to report it all as researchers. You got to treat it, we're scientists. We're amateur scientists.
Exactly.
So, as wacky and weird as it is, you need to report what it is you find out there. It's very important.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier that Troy on your team is an open-minded skeptic. How important is it for your team to be open-minded?
Oh, it's very important. I think it is, because I don't want to be one of these groups that's considered to be, they think everything's Bigfoot.
Yeah.
We don't say anything's Bigfoot or Skunk Ape. Nothing. We just say, we don't know what it is. It could be this, but this is what we found. And that's all we say. We don't make any claims anything is Bigfoot. Even the footprints. I don't know what it is, but I'm not going to sit there and say that was definitely a Bigfoot. No,
right.
I'm not going to do that, because we don't know. We didn't see it. We didn't see what made it. So
yeah. Well, you had mentioned earlier that you've never seen one up close. Well, guess what? I haven't either. I've never seen one face to face. No.
You have not seen?
Yeah, I've seen it that way. Absolutely. I've seen them up close. But I mean, in the 3D, the three-dimensional world here. They've been in our camp and I've experienced them and I've been close to them, but I haven't actually visually been face to face with one before like that. I mean, I've seen them from a distance, and hulking shadows moving through the woods and things like that. And I've heard them scream and hoop and holler and whistle right there around me and try to pretend like they're another animal and make weird noises,
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I've been doing it for about 11 years now or more. And, no, so I'm with you. I still haven't seen one up close like that.
I know I will. I know I will.
Yeah, I know I will too.
I know I will, just like you.
It's
just a matter of time. Got to be in the right place at the right time. So we're out there every weekend. My team, we are out researching every single weekend. We're trying to increase our odds of having a sighting, right?
Oh yeah. So, and Connor's out there with you guys sometimes. Bigfoot and on. Connor's in the house.
Hey, Connor, how are you?
Yeah. He said he loves investigating and camping with you and your team.
Absolutely. So we love you too, man. You need to
Connor's the best.
It's been too long. So hey, I'll see you at Smoky Mountain Conference too, Connor.
Oh, Connor's going to be there.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah,
I mean, I may have to really try to make it. I don't have to make a trip up there.
You're going to go.
Oh man. There's going to be a lot. I have a lot of friends that are going to be there. Some teammates that are going to be up there. So, yeah, well, I wanted, before we leave tonight, we've got a few more minutes. You have probably experienced UFOs out in the field and orbs. Okay. What do you think about the UFO connection to Sasquatch and Bigfoot?
I don't know. I really don't know, but I've heard stories that, like even Ocala National Forest, there's a guy, I know of one guy who has, been hunting for Bigfoot. He's out there camping by himself. In the middle of the night, poof, there's this huge bright ray of light that totally engulfs his tent, totally freaks him out. Why? Don't know, but he's looking for Bigfoot and a UFO appears above his tent. That's happened twice to him. So are they related? I don't know. I truly think that they're a flesh and blood creature. I really don't think there is, but I don't know. It could very well be. It very well could be. I don't know if you would see both, or it's just you're outside and you're noticing these things. You're seeing UFOs.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen UFOs while I'm out there Bigfooting, but I can't say there was like a connection to the actual phenomenon because they were separate. But I was doing Bigfooting and encountered UFOs.
Right.
So I didn't see a Bigfoot walking up into a UFO.
Exactly.
You know,
down or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so do you think that the areas that you research, they obviously have a lot of activity. When you go out there, do you actually experience it firsthand? Do you hear a lot of whoops and whistles and knocks and things like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've heard what sounded, and what's really weird is when you hear a sound like just a few feet from you, but you're not seeing anything. That's even weirder. When we first started with our team, I was on investigation with Tim and Wynette and a bunch of other people. And we heard what sounded like a baseball bat right next to us, like maybe 10 feet away. It was
my.
like a crack. And we all just kind of like look at each other and we're like, what was that? You know? But we've heard whistles. Like different team members have heard whistles. I heard a great vocalization in the Ocala National Forest. We've heard tree falls. You know, we've heard in the Everglades, we heard the gibberish. We heard gibberish going on in the Everglades, which was really cool during the day. And we're like, what the heck is this? There's no houses around. There's no people around. We're in the freaking Everglades. You know, we're afraid we're going to die out there.
Oh my. How do you stay calm out there? Like what do you do to keep your head on straight?
We just do our stuff, you know, but we got like one eye looking over that way and one eye over here, you know, looking for something, but we're looking, make sure it's not a Florida panther is going to jump out at us, that a gator's not going to come, you know, flying out of the water at us, or a python's going to come out of the tree or something. Yeah, it's crazy, exciting, very exhilarating. So after the fact, it's like, oh wow, that was great. At the time, it was like, we're gonna die out there.
That's how it usually goes.
It was a great experience, though.
Yeah, you got to put on your brave face. You don't want people to think you're scared or anything out there. Luckily, it's dark, so people can't see the fear in our eyes, right?
Yeah, except this was daytime. This was the middle of the day. But yeah, we could hear the gibberish out down. Way out where we were, and it's like I hear people talking. You know, it's like exactly what you hear like on the Sierra sounds or whatever, like gibberish, like a talking going on. That's exactly what we heard in the Everglades. So
I
doing that.
I love those Sierra sounds. I had Ron Moorhead on the show, and I had done shows about the language of the Bigfoot and how it is actually a language, you know.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a combination of archaic Japanese to German to Native American dialects to English to Spanish. Sounds like my son doing his gibberish when he was learning how to talk, honestly. But it's what it sounds like, kind of. But it's pretty cool. Now, okay, so do you have any advice for people who want to go out and do research in the Florida area? Okay, because I know it's a little bit different than even up here in Georgia, just by the terrain. What is your advice for people looking to get into Bigfooting down there?
You definitely have to I recommend snake boots. Waterproof snake boots, because you never know what you're going to encounter. And when you're out there, because the majority of the places you're going to go to are swampy areas. So wearing, waterproof snake boots helps give you that comfort level where you don't have to really worry about a snake. You know, it makes Bigfooting so much more pleasant, more, you know, you don't have to worry about that. You know, I just go through all kinds of stuff. You know, I don't care if there's a snake, except if it's a python or something, but I don't care because my boots are going to basically protect me. But, you know, my other opinions for someone who's new in this, keep an open mind. Be open-minded. Get out in the woods, get off the couch, go out there, see for yourself. And once you do that, you'll find strange stuff out there that you just cannot explain. So, you know, you just go. Just go, get on the couch, go do
I know. You just got to do it. Put on your hiking boots.
And just keep an open mind. And really, you have to really observe. You got to really study what's going on around you. And it's like, okay, that structure, is that tree fall, or was that made? You know, was it woven? Like somebody wove stuff together, or was it just like tree branches just falling? And, you know, so you have to do a lot of analysis and basically think of what would Bigfoot do? WWBD, right? What would Bigfoot do?
What would be? You need to make some shirts like that.
Where would you be, and what would you do? Like to get out of the heat? You know, it's incredibly hot here and humid. So, well, where would Bigfoot be? Where do you think he's going to be? He's going to be in the water somewhere.
Cooling off.
He's probably cooling off, probably rolling around in the, you know, sitting in a swamp somewhere, maybe a pond or whatever. So that's what he would be doing right now in Florida, sitting in water somewhere. So
well, I think you're right. I think you're right for sure. Marie, this has been amazing. Where can people find you? I've got your website here.
Yes, our research team website is midfloridabigfoot.com. So there you can see information about our team, our bios, each team member. There's a research gallery there with probably about 40 pictures of different things, some of our favorite finds. So you can check that out. And then on Facebook, you can find the Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Group, Facebook, with 1,600 members, which at least 90% of those people all live in Florida, which is great. It's nice to have that many people who live in Florida who are interested in learning more about Bigfoots and Skunk Apes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I also have a YouTube channel called the same thing, which is the Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Group.
Okay.
And then Tim Turner, he's got his own YouTube channel as well. It's called Tim T in Florida.
Okay.
So he does the filming of what we do out there. So he posts his videos there as well as in our group on Facebook.
Awesome.
So
okay. Well, Marie, I hope you will come back and join us again here at Space Out Radio.
Absolutely.
You are awesome. I've had such a good time. I'm going to try my best to get up there this weekend.
Yes, please.
And come meet everybody. Yeah, and come hang out and get out in the woods with you. Okay.
Yes, let's go in the woods.
Okay, we will. Listen, I think we got a date. Okay. All right. Well, listen, you have a great time. Be safe out there this weekend. In case I don't see you, but I'm hoping to see you. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And and happy Bigfooting. It's been a pleasure tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
All right. We will see you soon. You have a wonderful evening. Okay. And come back and see us. Okay. All right. Bye. All right, y'all. Marie is awesome. Okay, don't forget that right after the show, you can join the After Hours crew. They're going to take you on an incredible journey for the next 3 hours. Next Saturday, my guest is Bigfoot Michigan Rob, and we'll be talking about Bigfoot and the Michigan Dogman. I can't wait to see y'all there. But for now, I'm the Cryptid Huntress, Jessica Jones, and I am headed off the trails, and I will see you guys next week. You guys have a great night. Bye.